How's it going, guys? My name is Adam and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be doing an unboxing of the very famous Behringer X32. So without wasting any time, let's get to it. So as you can see, it comes in a pretty stylish looking box, clean, and does its job. Alright, so just before we unbox this thing, let me just go over a few of the specs for you guys. So it has 40 available inputs, 32 of which are Midas Design preamps. The last 6 are auxes for 1/4 inch and RCA inputs. It also comes with 16 analog outs and can be used for mix buses, matrices, effects, that sort of thing. It not only has USB control, but also the capability to add a network router to have wireless app control. Now another key thing for me is how it has 25 motorized faders on 4 banks. Another great feature about this board is the capability to adjust any part of the scribble strip. Not only can you adjust the color, but you can adjust the text, and you can also have little icons on there. One of the things I also like about this board is that it has a complete assign section to where you have not only 4 rotary encoder knobs, but you also have 8 assignable buttons that can be set with 3 separate banks. Now, don't worry, you won't get confused because they have also added a scribble strip to that section as well. Completing that would be the mute groups down there, which are very, very handy if you have certain parameters you want to be muted a lot of the time. So without further ado, let's cut this up. So as you can see, here it is, the X32 full size, wonderful looking board. We've got our power cable, IEC cable, also got our cover for the mixer, which I think is brilliant. We will be definitely using that. So let's get this out of the box. So now, all we've got is just the plastic to come off of this. Well, would you look at that? Looks absolutely stunning. Never owned a mixer before, and makes me feel really good to own one now. So without further ado, let's see how it looks on the desk. Now, I don't know about you, but that looks pretty good to me. Let's get it, boys. So with the console on the desk now, let's power it up. We'll take our IEC cable that Behringer has provided us with. And plug it right into the wall. Now all we gotta do is flip the switch, turn it on. Just starts right up. And as you can see, it is started up. Now that our console is powered on, you can see there are 4 layers in 2 separate fader banks. So if you direct your attention to the left side of the console, you'll see that we've got inputs 1 through 16 on our first layer, inputs 17 through 32 on our second layer, our auxiliary inputs, as well as our USB returns, as well as our effects returns. And on layer 4, we've got buses 1 through 16, 4 of which are going to be for your effects sends. So if you direct your attention to the right side of the console, you'll see that we have our 8 DCAs on layer 1, We have buses 1 through 8 on layer 2. We have buses 9 through 16 on layer 3. And finally, our 6 matrices, including our mono bus on layer 4. Now, one thing that will not change is the main left and right will always be the main left and right. Now, if you direct your attention to the top left side of the console, we've got our gain control, as well as 48 volt phantom power and polarity invert, as well as our low cut. We also have gate control with compression control as well. And moving over to the equalizer, you can see that we have our gain control for each band of frequency, as well as the frequency we are boosting or reducing, and as well as our Q shape. Now, the cool thing about this board is that you can switch between different modes, whether you want a high cut or shelf, or a low cut, or a PEQ shape. Now, to the right of our equalization section, we have our bus sends. So what you can do is go to a channel and manually assign how much of the channel is going to each bus. Now, what's cool is you can select between buses 1 through 16 by a matter of clicking the 4 buttons, which then assign the rotary knobs to the correct buses. And finally, to the right of the bus send section, we've got our main bus section where you can adjust the pan or balance in a channel or send to the monobus. The great feature about that is if you want to send a certain amount to the subs, for instance a bass guitar or a kick drum or some playback, it is easily done by this rotary knob. And one final thing of this section, we've got our USB slot for your USB thumb drive, which can contain either your scenes and or be a USB recorder. Now, moving to the right once again, we've got our LCD display for the console, which not only has several different rotary encoder knobs, as well as a layer selection and page select, but this is where all of the control can be viewed on the screen. Now, if you'll take a look at the top right of the console, you'll see that we've got our monitoring section, which consists of 2 knobs. One that adjusts the level of your studio monitors or Q wedges if you're in a live performance, and your headphones level, in which the headphone jacks are in the sides of the console. Another thing that you can do with this section is listen in mono or bring down the level of the overall mix so you don't blow your ears out. Now, looking to the right of the monitor section, we've got our Talkback and Utility section, which consists of the lamp input as well as the Talkback external mic input, the level control of that, and 2 talk buttons that can be programmed to send audio of your Talkback to multiple locations. Now, jumping on down below that, we've got our scenes section, which consists of 4 different buttons that can control which scene you're in and when you want to hit go. Now we'll jump on down to one of my favorite parts of the console, which is the assign section. We've got 4 rotary encoder knobs. We have scribble strips under each of those, as well as 8 programmable buttons. Now, the cool thing is that you can have these on different sets. There are 3 different sets you can choose from. Right now, this is by default. It's set on effects. This layer is for compression, and this is for nothing at the moment. Now, one of my favorite parts about the assign section is that it's always visible and you don't need to go into your LCD display to adjust anything. So if you take a look under the Gate and Dynamics tab, we've got our Select, our Solo, and our Mute buttons for each channel. Now, to the left of the first select button, we have our DAW remote button, which stands for Digital Audio Workstation, and that will give you control of your digital audio workstation, mine being Logic Pro. Now that you have an overview of the top of the console, let's turn it around and look at the rear. Looking to the top right section of the console, you'll see that we've got our Midas designed preamps, all 32 of them, as well as 6 auxiliary ins and 6 auxiliary outs. To the left of our auxiliaries, we've got a AES58 NB port, which can be used with the 32 channel or 16 channel snake. To the left of that, we've got our Alternet connection, which can be used with the P16 personal monitoring system. To the left of that, we've got our AES digital output, and to the left of that, we've got our MIDI in and out. To the left of the MIDI connection section, we've got our remote control section, which consists of the Ethernet jack, which you can connect to a wireless router for iPad control, and the USB port, which will be connected to your computer. To the left of our remote control section, we have our 32 channel USB audio interface, which takes the 32 channels of audio through USB 2.0 to your digital audio workstation. The default card can also be taken out via 2 Phillips screws and changed out with a card of your choice. Above our USB card slot and remote control section, we have our 16 analog XLR outputs that can be configured in the routing tab to be any analog output. Finally, on the top left of the console, we have 2 XLR outputs and 2 1/4-inch outputs for your monitor and control room out, followed by your power input, which consists of 1 IEC cable as well as the power switch. Alright guys, that's going to conclude today's video of the unboxing of my Behringer X32. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope that you found the information I gave you useful, that you can take it into your church, your school, anywhere that you work around audio. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. Give it a share to your friends and see what they think. If you're on YouTube, I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button and turn those notifications on. If you have any questions about the board, or quite frankly any audio questions, feel free to give me a message or a comment on this video. Once again, thank you for watching. Until next time everyone, my name is Adam, Merry Christmas, and happy mixing. Bye for now.